Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Arundhati. How are you all? I hope all are doing good and staying safe. So in today's class, we are going to talk about some of the concepts from unit number 2. So I know that I haven't explained some of the theories of social work practices in unit number 1. So what I am planning, anyway, we need to explain the personality theories in unit 2. So I will explain all the theories together. Okay. So today, first concept we are going to talk about social structure. Okay. So social structure is considered as one of the basic concept of a society. So what is meant by society? So society is actually a complex term, or we can say that it is a complex concept. But McIver defined that complex concept into a very simple term. So what McIver defined about society is a web of social relationship. So as we all know that, and we are familiar with the term society, and we are living in a society and we are interacting with people, and through this interaction we are making social relationship, right? So through this definition we can understand, or we can make many characteristics of society. So the first characteristics of society is considered as society consists of people. So as I mentioned before, or McIver mentioned that society is a web of social relationship. So for making social relationship, we need people. So that is the first characteristics of a society. Society consists of people. Okay. And second one, mutual interaction and mutual awareness. That is the second characteristics. So since society having people, we are actually interacting with each other. So mutual interaction and mutual awareness is another characteristics of a society. Okay. And while we are making a mutual interaction, so as I mentioned in my first video, as a human being, as an individual, we all have different kinds of attitude, opinion, emotional intelligence, emotional stability and everything, right? So we all have sometimes same opinion about same situation, or sometimes our opinion differ from others. So the third characteristics of a society is society rests on likeness and differences. And the last characteristics of a society, social control is by formal and informal means. So these all are the major characteristics and major things which you have to know about a society. So now we can move on to social structure. So moving on to social structure. The first thinker who talks about social structure and who gave a framework of social structure was Herbert Spencer. So you have to remember this name, Herbert Spencer, because I think 2 or 3 times in UGC NET examination they asked who was the first thinker of social structure. So remember the name, Herbert Spencer. Okay. So here also I think we can take the definition of McIver and Page, because I think McIver used to give very simple definition for almost all the complex concepts. What McIver defined that about social structure. Social structure is abstract, which is composed of groups like family, church, communities, caste, class, states, etc. So I think we can take one more definition of social structure. So social structure is a framework which consists of social institution. Social institution means institutions like family, education, religion, and social practices. Practices like roles and status, and social groups. So we can say that social structure is actually establishing our society, and which limits some of our behavior in a society. So in the second definition, we again take some of the other concepts like social institution, social practices, and social groups. So we need to define, or we need to understand all these concepts. So first we can take social practices, among that status. Okay. What is mean by status? So status is a socially defined position which characterized by certain expectations, rights and duties. Okay. So these status are categorized into 2. One is ascribed status, another one is achieved status. So what is mean by ascribed status? So ascribed status means some position we are getting through our birth itself. Say for example, our sex, our age, our caste, our race, our ethnicity. All these things we are actually getting through our birth, and it's very difficult to change. We cannot change our age, right? So, and it is long lasting. So what is mean by achieved status? So achieved status, the term achieved itself, it is saying that we are trying to achieve some position in our life, or we are trying to grab some position in our life. Say for example, our job, our relationship, our hobbies, all these are considered as achieved status, because that we are not getting through our birth, but we are trying to achieve that. And we can change that also. So the main difference between ascribed status and achieved status are, ascribed status you cannot change, and whereas achieved status you can change. If you don't like your job, you can change, you have the option. And if you want to change your relationship status, you can change, you have the option. And if you want to change your hobbies, you can change, you also have the option for changing your hobbies, right? And it is not long lasting, whereas ascribed status is long lasting and getting by birth, and achieved status we are trying to grab after our birth. Okay, so from this, as an individual, we all have more than one type of status. We all have ascribed status and achieved status, but from this status, some status have the power to influence our personal aspects of our life. Okay, so the status which can influence some of the personal aspects of our life is known as master status. Okay, I will take an example from about master status from our ascribed status. We can take the example of gender. I mean, I'm taking it as an example because gender we can change because it is a socially constructed term or the concept. Okay, so we can take the example of gender because in our society, men and women having different norms. Okay, so for achieving career advancement, we have n number of strategy. So one of the important strategy for achieving career advancement is considered as informal networking and social capital. But here what happened, women having very less opportunity to make informal and social capital because our society restricting women to go for more social gathering. Whereas men having this opportunity to make more social informal networking and social capital, and they can achieve their career advancement very fast compared to women. And moving on to career interruption, compared to men, women are facing more career interruption because family and child rearing is considered as only the responsibility of women. So this ascribed status is influencing our other aspects of our life. And we can take another example from achieved status. Achieved status like our occupation. So our occupation is actually defined where we need to live, how we need to live, how far we have to live, how long you can live. All these things are actually described by our occupation. So the status which can influence our personal aspects of our life is known as master status. Okay. So next we are going to talk about role. So you have to remember that we start with social structure, and social structure we talks about social practices. From these social practices you have two terms, social status and roles. So we already talked about social status and now we are going to talk about roles. Okay. So roles are actually the set of norms which specify the rights and obligation of status. Okay. So this role are actually defined what all are the rights and obligation of a status. And because of this role, social structure can have some problem. So first one is role conflict. So problems of social structure, we can say that first one is role conflicts. So how this role conflicts happen? As a human beings, and we are living into a society, and society having different kinds of social institution, and we have to, as a human being, we have to perform different roles in this social institution. Say for example, if I am in a social institution like family, I need to perform the role of daughter. And if I am going to my educational institution, my college, I need to perform the duties or role of a teacher. And if I am going to another institutions like marriage, I need to perform the role of wife. Okay, so we have to transfer or we have to change our role whenever we are moving into different institution. Sometimes if you are not trained well and if you are not able to cope up with different institution, this role conflict can happen. Okay, so this make a problems in social structure. Okay, so as an individual, we have to perform our each role very properly for proper social functioning. Second, problems of social structure is considered as role strain. So role strain is actually a person experiencing stress in their one role. So role conflict is actually between two roles of different institution. Whereas role strain is with a person experiencing strain in one job, one role. Say for example, so now I am performing the role of teacher. Okay, so I have to make many notes. I have to perform like 5 hours of class continuously, and my institution gave many other documentation works and all. So it is actually strain for me, and these strains make role strain in my life. Okay, so there is a chance to affect this role strain to another aspects of life as well. As in same as role conflicts also, when role conflicts happens, there is a chance to affect this role conflict to our other aspects of life. So these will make problems in our social structure. Okay. Third problem of social structure is considered as status inconsistency. So that is actually between ascribed status versus achieved status. So what is it? Status inconsistency says that the social position of a person is high in one aspect, whereas low in another aspects. Say for example, in a white dominated society, if black race people having high occupational qualification or high occupation, but their ascribed status is low. Their achieved status is high, whereas their ascribed status is low. So this is actually called as status inconsistency. So that is also can make problems. Even we can say in some society, gender and ethnicity making same problem. So next we can talk about social institutions. What is mean by social institution? So social institutions are a group of people who comes together for a common purpose, and social institutions have the power to influence the social order and to make a particular behavior for individuals. Okay, so the social institution is categorized into two forms: primary institution and secondary institution. So primary institution is considered as family, economics, religion, and I think education. All this considered as primary institution. Whereas secondary institution is actually the branches of primary institution. We can take the example of family. Family have the secondary institutions like marriage, divorce, polygamy, monogamy. And if you're taking religion as a primary institution, the secondary institutions of religions are church, temple, mosque, etc. Okay. So primary institutions and secondary institutions are the two categories of social institutions, and people gathering or group of people are moving on to the social institutions for a common purpose, and it has the power to influence our social order as well. Okay. So the third concept which is contributing to social structure is social group. Okay. So first we talked about social practices, then social institution, and now social groups. You have to remember that. Okay. Social group. What is mean by social group? So a number of people comes together with common identity, we feeling, common purpose, common goal, and common norms is known as social group. And more than two people are the members of social group, and they used to interact frequently. Say for example, you could be a member of a sports team or class, in a class or workplaces or an organization. So the members who belongs to all these categories considered as social group. We all are the part of a social groups. Okay, so social groups is categorized into different types. So now we can check on to the different types of social groups. First type of social groups is considered as primary and secondary group, and which was developed by Cooley. So what is mean by primary unit? Primary group. So primary group is considered as one of the basic elements or fundamental unit of a society, and which is long lasting in relation and very small and used to interact more. Say for example, our family is considered as one of the primary group. Our childhood friend and our love relation, all these things is considered as comes under primary groups, because it is a fundamental unit and which is very small and in very close relationship. Okay. Secondary group means people not having the we feelings like primary group, and in secondary group people used to come for a common purpose. Say for example, our class, our workplace. Here we cannot say that all our friends or our classmates are comes under primary groups, but many people we don't have more emotional attachment or we feelings, but we comes to these secondary group for a common purpose. We are going to the class for the common purpose called studying, and we are moving to the workplaces for a common purpose called we need to work. Okay, so we are sharing only a common purpose or common interest for be a part of that secondary group. Okay, so reference group, third one is reference group. So reference group we are using actually to compare ourselves, our behavior, or to guide our behavior. Say for example, if you are moving on to a new school, we don't know anything about the norms and norms and rules of that particular institution. So we used to look upon to the senior person or seniors to understand what are the norms and rules of a particular institution, and we used to follow that norms according to how our senior used to do, right? So that is reference group. So we are just comparing ourselves with our reference group. One is in group and out group, and which was developed by William Graham Sumner. So in group means we are actually the member, we feel we are the member of that particular group, and we have this we feeling and some kinds of a similar behavior. So example for in group are one's family, okay, and out group. Out group we have dissimilar behavior, and we don't feel that we are into the part of particular group. So these all are the major types of group. I think now we can check some of the important questions from these sections. Find out the incorrect match. Option number A, Giddings, structural view of society. Option B, Cooley, society is a web of social relations. C, Parson, functional view of society. And D, Cooley, we feeling. So here you have to find, you have to take the incorrect match. So the right answer is option number B, Cooley, society is a web of social relations. So that definition is given by McKeever. So the right answer is option number B, Cooley. Next one, according to Giddings, society rests on option number A, mutual cooperation, B, altruism, C, consciousness of kind, option D, folks, ways and mores. So the right answer is option number C, consciousness of kind. So consciousness of kind means it is the concept that human beings have a tendency to join or associated with other people who are perceived of having similarity to themselves. So we have always the tendency to make a relationship between people who is having similar kinds of our behavior, so our taste, all those things. So that is called as consciousness of kind, and which was introduced by Giddings. Next one, classification of primary groups and secondary groups is given by option A, Cooley, B, McKeever, C, Sumner, D, Giddings. So the right answer is option A, Cooley. According to Dash, society is a web of social relations. So that we discussed many times. So the right answer is option B, McKeever. Next one, man is a social animal. Who said this? So the right answer is option C, Aristotle. Dash is a collection of individuals, two or more, interacting with each other and which have some common object of attention and participate in similar activities. Right answer is option B, social group. Who has coined the term quasi-group? Option A, McKeever, B, Ginsberg, C, Ogburn, D, Sorokin. So the right answer is option B, Ginsberg. So a quasi-group actually it means it is an aggregation or combination which lacks structure or organization and whose member may be unaware or less aware of the existence of group. So quasi-group means it is a combination of members, we can say that, but the member of this group is unaware about the existence of this group. Say for example, social classes, status group, age, gender groups, crowd, and we are actually unaware about this group, but we are actually comes under these groups. The concept of reference group was first given by, the right answer is option A, Heyman. The marriage of one man with several sisters called, right answer is option C, sororal polygamy. So what is mean by polygamy? So polygamy is actually the practice or customs of having more than one wife or husband at the same time. Polyandry means woman has more than one husband. That is called polyandry. Adelphic polyandry, which means woman is married to two or more men who are brothers. Dash is a form of marriage of man of higher caste with women of lower caste. Right answer is option A, Anuloma. When the descent is traced through the father, it is called as Dash family. Right answer option C, patrilineal. In our modern society, ascribed status, So the right answer is option C, is being replaced by achieved status. Ascribed status in society is one which an individual gets. Right answer option B, based on birth. If people identify with you largely on the basis of your age and your identity focuses largely around your age, then age for you is option A, master status is the right answer, because here age influences your other aspects of your life. Dash is characterized by intimate face-to-face relation. Right answer option B. As a worker, you are experiencing excessive demands with your job between your boss and colleagues. This is an example of right answer is option A, role strain. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I am very happy that at least some of the aspirants getting benefit from my video, and I got many positive comments from you people. So, and one of the aspirants suggested me to post the videos frequently, so I'm taking that suggestion. So I will try to upload the videos every day except Sunday. And also some of the aspirants suggested me to post the PDF of or upload the PDF of each unit. So I'm so sorry for that. I don't have much time to prepare the notes, unit wise note, and to upload the PDF of that file. So what I can do, you can mail me on this mail ID. So if you have any doubts, and if you have if you need any clarification regarding UGC net or anything regarding social work, you can mail on this mail ID. I will reply and you can mail to this mail ID. Once again, thank you so much for watching my video. So study well, study hard. So hard work pay for you. Thank you.